and we're going to see that get thrown to the wayside in the form of a ban. And I feel like a lot rides on this Face Hunter mirror, to be honest.
Felmore and Felmore. Now, I talked the first time around, I don't like Felmore in the mirror on the play, but last time around, Muzzy didn't have a 1-drop. I still don't like it. On the coin, not so bad, because you can coin it out and get on with it and then build up a board around it. And Muzzy decides, because Neophyte's in his hand, to just go for a more immediately effective curve for this particular game.
All right, let's get on with the show. Doesn't pick up the spell to couple with the Intrepid Initiate, though. Now it's DreadEye's turn.
I don't think he's bothered. He's probably going to play the Neophyte anyway, so...
Oh!
Time for the spell! That's the spell! That's
Hubba bubba!
Oh.
Hello! He can go incredibly wide, real early.
Yep. That's going to be hard to deal with without a rifle, and the rifle's 3 turns away. Oh dear.
Well, that's a good pickup. Oh, that's good too.
Neophyte, shoot your own Neophyte. Hit your opponent for 3 points of health removal.
Yep.
No, not that one. You tried that week 1 with a rogue, Muzzy, and you still won. Point to the right things. Behave yourself.
Yeah. Let's see where it goes. Into the Divine Shield. Oh, it went into the Divine Shield. Oh, no. Disaster.
Oh, DreadEye's got the look of a man that when you hit a Divine Shield in the game, you hit one in real life. Taking the wind out of his sails.
Oh, he did nothing that turn.
Ugh.
Hungry, aren't ya?
Like actual nothing. Muzzy's just got this game won. DreadEye did keep that Felmore. I know he's not supposed to bump into a Divine Shield. That was incredibly unlucky, but I've not been a fan of Felmore in Hunter for a long time.
Oh yeah? This is new information to me.
No, this is a thing. This is true.
Wow, huh? I would have never guessed.
No, really, honestly, I absolutely, absolutely have thought it for so long.
Oh man! All right. Well, I said a lot rides on that Face Hunter mirror. That one got out of hand incredibly quickly for DreadEye. Muzzy takes a nice, easy victory in game number 1. And yeah, that's a big deal because I think maybe the Face Hunter wasn't going to struggle that much, but it certainly could have. Is is what I'll go with. So
well, it's going to be a close match. So winning a mirror is a big deal in this, I think.
Yep.
Every deck can win and every deck can lose. It's not like, oh yeah, your Hunter was always going through. It wasn't always going through at all. So yeah, taking one down, nice start from Muzz.
Yep, Druid and Priest left remaining. So we'll see if he can continue this. But, I mean, kind of going back, we said like this could be the last competitive match we see from Muzzy, assuming that he falls through. I will say though, DreadEye has been sort of understated as a player, I guess, in terms of like the success that he's had in his few seasons of Grandmasters. He's been quietly doing incredibly well, and I don't want to take anything away from him by saying, like, you know, it'd be cool to see Muzzy go to the World Championship, because honestly it'd be cool to see DreadEye get to that point as well, because I don't think he has gotten the credit that he's deserved for quite some time.
I agree with that. I think both of us have sort of cast DreadEye a lot of times and quite often cast it from the other point of view. I'll go with that. He did go 17 wins, 11 losses in matches this season, which is I actually for once didn't put the percentage on there, and I always do, but you can see that's a decent percentage. 17-11, especially in this company. In his first season, he also had a decent run, just going slightly positive, but always looking a bit better than that. And yeah, it feels like he's been here a long time. He has not. The new players in Americas are pretty much setting the pace, with the exception of maybe Nelgadan these days. And like you say, it would be pretty cool to see him go to the World Championships. I don't make an apology in a way for sort of being, I don't know if I'm Muzzy biased, but at least Muzzy is from his point of view, as it could be his last competitive match. That's just a thing that happens. DreadEye's time will come, and his time will come whatever I say. And I'll be excited for him when it does.
Yep. Well said. Well said. Going to move into Shadow Priest versus the Death Rattle Fell Demon Hunter. As far as how things match up, I think this might be one of DreadEye's better matchups for the Shadow Priest, just because he's got some longevity in the game. He's got some removal that isn't just minions. That hand is bad, though.
It is, but the Fury might actually not be as grim as it looks. Okay, yeah, it's going to be pretty grim. He does nothing turn one.
Yeah.
Little better.
Yeah, that's at least something to pull from the Beastmaster, so it's going to give him some stickiness on the board. He just needs to not fall too far behind in the interim or lose too much health, because unlike the standard Fell Demon Hunter, this does not have any life gain in it. Doesn't run Chaos Leech. It can find it from Illidari Studies, so it does run Illidari Studies, so that could end up being an important card later down the line.
Forgot that Wriggling Horror existed in Hearthstone, but it does. Muzzy's got an amazing hand. It looks like, almost looks like trash right now, but this is going to develop over the next 2 or 3 turns and end with him playing a board full of stuff that's hard to remove, not hard to remove, but a pain to remove, and a Voracious Reader with no cards in hand. That's where he's headed right now.
Yeah.
With that in mind, yeah, he's just going to dump as many things on the board as possible. Do you think he wants to start trading war, or should he just be going to face and let DreadEye do that, because then DreadEye's minions won't effectively have charge?
I don't think you care about trading here. Yeah, because of the fact that they would have charge. I mean, a lot of the things that be pulled from this would have charge anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I think you just ship it to face. Crossroads Watch Post is pretty useless, but this is could be a pretty decent turn. He could play the Devouring Ectoplasm on the board, then the Beastmaster will pull the Renowned Performer. The problem is like the trades aren't great, because in order to actually pull the Renowned Performer from his hand, he'd have to trade into the Twilight Deceptor and then trade the Renowned Performer in as well.
Right.
Which just aren't
almost
good trades overall.
Yeah, counterproductive to what he's trying to do. Yeah. Play all the cards. So the main question here, I think, is going to be, what does he want to raise dead? He has some say in that right now.
Just a Wriggling Horror. Okay.
Seems fine.
Yeah. The only way for him to get anything else would have been to see what's in the Beastmaster and then trade into that. So I think this is perfectly fine. And now he could go full tempo, play Guardian Og Merchant, Tour Guide. Where this hero power goes, though, is kind of the big question mark, I would say.
If anywhere. You can hold, because next turn you're hoping to play something Unreader, but... Nah. Get him. It was never a question mark. He just points it all at the face.
More Furies is not what he wants to see at this stage.
It's really not. He's struggling to fend off lethal here now.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if he does get control of the board, the hero powers might be close enough. He might be close enough to just die to the hero powers. Plus your favourite tech card of the whole day, the Void Shard.
Cut to the chase.
I am a walking weapon.
Yeah. I mean, this is, I suppose, as much stats as he can put out. He doesn't want this Felsa Executioner, I think, to even get corrupted. It's one attack a turn. It's not what he's going to want to do, but this is also not something that he was really interested in seeing, was a Voracious Reader to refill the hand for Muzzy, and now he's just a hero power away from dying. He would need healing plus board removal. He would need exactly Illidari Studies off the top. And even then, he's very likely dead. Yep, it's Skull, 1 mana away from even being able to do anything with it. And that's 2-0.
It's a massive deal, TJ, because now Muzzy's Druid will, at the very worst, get a chance to run into the Hunter on the other side, which is a really nice matchup for that Druid.
Yeah. He did lose it, right? Or no, we saw it lost by... was it him? I don't know. It felt like
he
so
lost
long
it.
ago, but I guess it
No,
was.
he did. He lost it to now Gidan in the final.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. So, it's not like the end-all, be-all matchup, but it is quite good. So, we'll see, but DreadEye needs to beat that Druid 3 times in a row, which, no matter which way you put it, that's a tough task.
Yeah, absolutely. I assume he will do the thing where you try and get maximum wins, and he'll probably queue his mage first, because that's quite a good matchup for him. Now Gidan, by the way, tweeted that he thinks that Muzzy's lineup across all of the regions is the best of the non-standard lineups.
Okay. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, because he's just taking kind of these known archetypes and making them work, whereas a lot of other players that went for target strategies tried to be a little bit more creative. DreadEye is one of them. Lego Tracker is 1.5 of them.
yeah.
Saying he's one of them is doing his lineup a disservice. But DreadEye is going to try it with the Demon Hunter first. So we'll see. We'll see if he can get across. But I mean, this series is looking incredibly difficult for him from this stage on.
Yep, this is the one I think I certainly know the least about how this matchup's going to pan out of the 3 remaining. It feels like it's probably okay for the Demon Hunter, but the Demon Hunter has these weird gaps, like turns 5, 6, 7, where nothing seems to happen. And that's where the Druid can sometimes just explode everywhere and put Alloons and Taunts and Teacher's Pets and Grey Boughs. So that's the point of interest for me, at least, on this matchup.
Okay. This is a very good opening hand for DreadEye, I'd say.
I agree. I think Muzzy's already got big, complicated problems as to when he wants to use this coin.
And it just got more complicated?
Yep. Yeah, it's tough.
I think that he just wants to probably Oracle and then coin Og Merchant.
Oh, next turn. So
Yeah.
this turn's spend your 2 mana, which is ugh.
Yeah.
Time waits for no one.
Yuck is right.
But you're right, if he gets the Oracle Org Merchant thing off, that's a lot of bodies on the board.
Protects me.
Another nice pickup for DreadEye.
Yeah.
No?
I just can't tell if he would even like want it corrupted. And it's not.
Yeah, probably not.
That's on the board.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Okay, so this makes the Alloon Coin Guardian Og Merchant not as appealing.
Got to weigh up the advantages of having 12 acorns in your deck if you want to play the squirrel instead.
Reflect in the moon realm.
Yeah.
I want Dog Merchant, but Muzzy wants 12 acorns.
All right.
His deck will be like 50% acorns in 2 turns' time with Arbor up in hand.
Which is
Okay.
solid. I mean, it's just, it feels like he's falling behind on the board very quickly. All right, DreadEye here. Nothing to trade the Beastmaster into to get value from it, but he's got double Death Rattles in his hand now. So he could play one this turn, and then the other would be pulled by the Beastmaster. I wonder if Fel Barrage is on his mind at all. It's a little bit awkward.
So the way to approach that is, does it ever get less awkward?
No.
So get it over with then. Fel Barrage, Hero Power, trade, yeah. If it's always going to be awkward and it's a decent enough card, then just get it played.
Yeah.
Time grows short.
Okay. Yeah, this looks alright. It's definitely not the least clunky turn we'll see today, but it's alright. It looks pretty decent. Still preserving his very tasty looking Death Rattle effect on the board as well. Here they come. Oh no, here they come. The pack
jeez.
the pack mules.
So you go for one of them in composting? Unless he wants to set up for the best possible Arbor up, but I think that's kind of a, composting does that itself because of all the squirrels, the acorns he has in his deck still. 33 cards, that's actually correct.
Yeah, and he plays the wrong one. But he does play the composting. I saw him hover over it, so the pack mules have killed the board once again.
Yep, and we'll get back into it in a moment. Hopefully not a lot happens. He hasn't played anything. There we go.
An arbitrary number of acorns were going to enter play and we weren't going to see it. That was scaring me. Thanks for the composting, as you said.
We'll cut right to the chase.
Smasher's still going to pull one of these out. Yep. This is the correct side of the deck. All right, acorns. Oh, there's 2 of them.
I'm not quite sure who's trying to sort of grind out whose deck here. Obviously, if you start getting to the later stages, DreadEyes will take control. But in this particular part of the game, I feel like we've just entered Murs territory. And there's the Panther as well.
Arbor up is also good, but do you...
Trade a squirrel first to see if you get more.
Trade a squirrel first? Yeah, try and get more acorns. And that was sort of DreadEye's dilemma last turn as well, trying to find a balance of what to trade off the board and what to leave on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. This is just silly. Okay, I mean, this is just a natural play.
Yeah, he can just keep hitting face and then force DreadEye to be the ones making the trade.
Yeah. It feels like all day, all we've done is say, what might Muzzy do here? By the time we finish talking, he's just hit face with everything in every game.
Does he win a race, though? Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And he's got second arbor up with Acorns to follow.
Yeah.
And Panther now.
Yep.
Demons? Demons.
Choose wisely, DreadEye.
You look like you love
Yep, go for
a
board
deal.
first and then the Felso Executioner for damage second.
Yeah, this was smart. This protects his board, obviously. The Panther's going to make it look a lot worse, especially with the Org Merchant as well, if Muzzy chooses to go that way, which looks like quite a strong way to go. But it made a lot of sense at the time. Try to see if there's anything cleverer than just playing the Panther, but the Panther means you have a Panther. That's usually a really good spot to be in.
He can actually kill the Persistent Peddler and what emerges from the Persistent Peddler, which is another Persistent Peddler,
Yeah.
funnily enough. Funny you say that.
He's
gonna go for
persistent,
both.
that Peddler.
Yeah, most stats aboard. Okay, Illidari Studies is probably about the best draw that he could hope for off the top. Except for Skull of Gul'dan, maybe? Those are not great options, however.
Like, he's just dead to so many things as well. He's got to find something better. I don't think Stelina's good enough, if that makes sense, because the problems aren't in the hand, they're on the board.
Yeah. Ooh, Fell Barrage. Okay.
It's okay. It does kill the 4-2 at least. So he's going to make sure he gets a chance of killing some squills while he's at it.
You look like you love a good deal.
There's no more death rattles left from the early composting, so now he doesn't have to worry about the squirrels for a moment. Just about solving it.
Yep. And this pushes damage to face. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 16 damage showing.
Fair point. Muzzy does have the Panther and the Orc Merchant if he wants it. That's still a lot of damage showing, but then he can start backing it up with Teacher's Pets and other such things.
What?
You can play Mule this turn. Seems to be in a good shape. The Peddler's the last Peddler.
Or you can go Park Panther,
Uh-huh.
Power,
Or Hero Power.
and set up for the second Park Panther for lethal.
Oh,
Smack him!
no cat. Help. Being attacked by my cat.
Cool.
Yep. And so now does he Orc Merchant and Mule? Yes, he does.
Putting stuff in the way.
Yeah. And the Panther, if it lives, that's the end. So it needs to not live.
Oh! Oh!
Warlock.
Nope.
Chaos Piercer useless. Chaos Strike
Maybe.
useless. Chaos Strike useless. I mean, they draw cards.
Our 2 Chaos Strikes useless. If he can get through, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, but he's dead if the Park Panther lives.
Well, if he goes Chaos Strike and to Chaos Strike, that's 8. He'd have 10. He'd have 11 on board, but he'd have to be able to get rid of the 2-3.
I grow
Yeah, like
impatient.
Illidari Studies into I-Beam.
10, 11.
How is it even
Yeah.
possible?
Interesting. I think I wanted to draw the cards now and see what I've got. See what's in the bin. I realise it could be wasted damage, but yeah.
Yeah. The teacher's pet, though, is going to probably end things. 3 health is just not enough. Second skull!
He's pausing because there might be a way to draw. I mean, he can draw the 2 cards from the Chaos Strikes first. His win condition involves somehow removing the 4/5, probably with a leech, which he can't do because he's under a neophyte, and then hitting face with his weapon for 1,000,000 damage. Probably with a fury, but I don't know how he removes the teacher's pet.
Yeah.
I grow impatient.
I can't even see what's left.
Alas, poor
Like, everything's just, no matter what he would draw, it would be too expensive. Like, it would need to be spell-based.
Double Fell Rattler? Does that do it? There's one.
Yeah.
time grows short.
But now the second Fell Rattler is going to be full cost if he uses the Chaos Strike.
Yep. That was his out, I think, was Double Fell Rattler.
Yeah, Fell Barrage would be too expensive. Beastmaster. Illidari Studies. There's nothing cheap enough. And that'll do it.
Muzzy popping off one more time. As DreadEye explodes, Muzzy is through to the top 4 of the Americas region. And in a way, he's almost through to the top 3 because Nelgidan isn't in his half of the draw. And if he plays now going into the final, he would also qualify that way. Amazing scenes. I, again, echo what you said earlier about DreadEye. I think starting next season, he is somebody we've really got to keep a very close eye on. He's always there or thereabouts. But today is all about Muzzy.
Yep, and to an extent now Gadon, but he's already going to the World Championship, so, you know, forget him. Yeah, very nice overall from the day for Muzzy. Obviously, we knew in both series that he played DreadEye. He came in as the favorite. You know, pretty much no matter which way you slice his overall matchups against DreadEye's decks, he was going to come out on top. But seemed like a pretty close series in Series 1, and that one wasn't close, but more akin to what I'd expect versus a lineup like DreadEye. Unfortunate for DreadEye, too, that the lineups that he was trying to counter, we saw how well he was able to do against Dmitry Kazov. That was the expected outcome from DreadEye's point of view, and he got knocked out by the player that went the complete opposite of what DreadEye was trying to target. And sometimes that happens, right? You have these groups where you're only going to play against a maximum of a couple opponents, and if the player that ends up eliminating you just kind of got the better of you from a lineup perspective, then